Welcome to episode number 104 of the Eavesdrop podcast. I have my man JMR Luna Juan from Madrid, who is the CEO of OG Esports.
Yes.
I'm the CEO of OG, period. Does your OG stand for anything?
No. That's it. We never spell it out.
It's just OG.
That's it.
When did OG become? When did you guys establish the brand?
I think the company. I've only been with them for 14 months. So as much as I would like to take credit for a lot of the great things that they've done.
Yeah.
They started the brand. I think it was 5 years ago, and then they got Red Bull. That was a big change. You know, I think it was 3 years ago. And yeah, obviously we were very aware of the other OG, as we called it inside the company. And you guys
still did it. What are your colors?
We started with green.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yes, but
copy more.
Wouldn't copy. We'll say we were like, they were probably influenced by the beautiful green color. But when they did the co-branding with Red Bull, then we became blue.
Yeah.
And now we're anthracite.
Oh, cool.
Later darker.
Anthracite. Very cool.
Yeah.
This episode number 104, is brought to you by Kiwi Company and DoorDash, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them later on in the podcast. We have been exchanging messages for a very long time.
Yep.
I always knew that one of my points of the podcast is to get and show people. We're in LA. If you guys can't tell by the beautiful scenery in the background, you can definitely tell by the ambulances out there.
They'll hear the helicopter.
The helicopters at night.
They're gonna come right in time.
Yeah, you know what? We're at the JW Marriott. We usually stay here. We used to stay here a lot when Call of Duty Champs was right across the street.
Okay.
So we have a lot of history in this this hotel, in the bar downstairs. I think I experienced my first earthquake ever in the bar downstairs.
Oh, nice.
And it was an MLG event. Oh no, it was Champs, but all the MLG crew was there. And I think Adam Apicella had just bought like this massive dessert float that had every pie available. It had like this massive cotton candy sculpture in the middle, and then we're all digging in. Pre-COVID, obviously, everybody's having the blast, and we're eating, and all of a sudden it starts shaking. And at first, I thought somebody knocked over the table, pushed the table. No, it was an earthquake, and everybody's like, you hear the women, ah, you hear the dudes, ah, you know, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, I'm eating my cake, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then all of a sudden we see the chandeliers just fucking moving back and forth, and I'm like, all right. If I go, I'm going to go with a belly full of sugar.
I always said that I had a very good earthquake story because my first earthquake story was I was in Japan, naked in the shower on the 29th floor of a building.
Okay.
And the buildings move a lot.
Yeah.
They build them elastic like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what it was. I was like, I can't believe that I'm going to die naked. That was like the only thing that I was like...
Well, you were born naked.
Yeah, but I didn't want to go out like that. And I remember just putting the bathrobe, going out to like a frame of the thing, open the door, and there's like the cleaning lady was like, dude, it's okay. It's just an earthquake.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean it's just an earthquake? You know?
Yeah, it's like, get back inside, put some clothes on.
Yeah. So that was my first one.
I think that I would get dressed first. I would 100. I can't
you
go out like that. No,
exactly.
No. Not in my condition right now. You know what I'm saying? No.
It was younger in my life, so I still look a little bit better than I do now. But
yeah, I mean, it's been a good 30 years for me since I last looked physically fit.
Okay.
I mean, my athleticism is still there, right? Like I move well for a guy my size. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's start from the beginning. Where are you from? Where were you born?
Yeah.
How old are you?
So I wanted to just explain one thing, is that I've been a fan of him. So I was like testing him as a fanboy, and the only thing that changed was like when I became the CEO of OG, then I saw you following me. I was like, okay, play cool. Just play cool. Don't start saying, hey, Hector, big fan, you know. Play cool. Oh, I'm going to like your post. Oh, dude, congrats on your win. Until I finally wrote you that message that we will talk about it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm stoked to be here.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Is it a full circle moment for somebody like you? For example, if I was ever invited to be on, Casey Neistat or, who else is there? Huh? Yeah, like Mike Tyson, like hot boxing with Mike Tyson, like that sort of thing. Growing up watching Mike Tyson, if I went on his podcast, I think I would have that sort of full circle moment. Oh, I'll give you a perfect example. One time, Shaquille O'Neal didn't want to take a picture with me. He was in Dallas, or he was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he was busy, and I wanted to take just one picture, and he wouldn't take a picture with me. He was busy, and I understand, right? If he takes one picture with me, he has to take a picture with like 15 other people. Yeah. So. You know, a couple of years later, he gives me a video game awards for esports team of the year, and that for me was like a full circle moment. So I always have like these like Hitch, for example, when he was on a podcast with me, Nate Shot, and Scump, he was like, dude, my 14-year-old self would never believe that I'm sitting here doing a podcast. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like as not as a guest. That's it. Like he's on that podcast. You know what I mean?
I would say I do still have a lot of, what is it called? The imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. But I think that for you, I grew up watching you.
Explain imposter syndrome first.
Imposter syndrome is I don't believe in many ways that I deserve to be where I am.
Okay.
Because I joined a team who had already built the legacy.
Yeah.
So I didn't build it with them. Mm-hmm. I didn't win TI twice with them, and I didn't win the 4 majors with them.
Yeah.
So now I'm a person that is coming where the legacy is there, and every day I live with these people,
Yeah.
But in my head, it's like, okay, it's not that I'm fascinated by them. It's like, how do I earn my right to be here?
Yeah.
I don't need the world to think that I deserve it, but I need them to think that I deserve it,
Yeah, to know that you deserve it.
Correct. And I have done enough things this year to make me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But being next to you is like, oh, we're both CEOs of a team that is called OG. Yeah, but it's like, I paid 1 year's worth of dues and you've built the road that I'm literally walking on every day.
I think I have imposter syndrome just in that one very thing. In that one very thing where people tell me like, you paved the way and I'm able to do this because of what you did. That's the only time where I have trouble being okay with that, right? Like, because I don't want to believe that my way is like the way, because I've taken like a weird approach, right? Mm-hmm. Where other people are taking an approach of getting the best players first. I'm like more personality driven. Obviously, cameras in front of me. Like there's only like a few other CEOs that like sort of put themselves out there like that, and I do it because I was born to be a content creator. I'm an artist at heart. I that's what I love to do. The CEO part, the being the head of a company part, that's just not me. It's never been me. I never wanted it to be me, and I feel that for the last like since I built Optic, that was like the one thing that I was lacking, right? Like a business figurehead watching my back as I sort of think of the vision and predict the future as to where I think this is going to go. And, one day I think that, if we're able to find somebody that can drive the boat as I'm sitting up top, like looking through the binocular as to where we're going next, like I want to point and I want to navigate. I want them to operate the ship. You know what I mean? So that's like the only time where I feel like I don't know that I am that guy. Right. Aside from that, I fit in where I get in. You know what I mean? Very comfortably. Yeah. Like my fucking ugly shoes. I just put them on.
But then let me give you the compliment. I think that what is so magical about you is how effortless you've been able to pave the road without knowing that you were paving the road. Which is, I can segue of what I wrote you on the message and why we're here.
Yeah, please.
So 2017, late May, I went to my first Call of Duty event.
Where was that?
Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And I remember the date because it was my birthday.
Happy birthday back then.
Back then, yes. And I went with a team from Evil Geniuses. And me, that came from movies, you think I'm the big shit because I'm making movies. I went there and I clearly was not adequate or nice to the guys. I wasn't. I really wasn't. And at one point, I felt that they didn't want me to be there with them. So I'm like all emo, going to the bar by myself. I ate in Cheesecake Factory by myself. Mm-hmm. It's a rough thing when you're sitting by yourself in the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
And then I went to the bar and I sat down there by myself and Hector comes through the door. You have no idea who I was. You did not care. You were like, hey, what's up, buddy? What's your name? And I say, my name is Juan. And you're like, hey, dude, do you speak Spanish? We started speaking Spanish. You went, you bought me a beer, you brought the beer to me, and you sat down with me and you started talking to me. I did not drink the beer because I don't drink alcohol, but I was talking to you the whole time until Mike came from Dexerto. Yeah. And then I gave him my beer, and then the three of us were speaking. You introduced me to enough people where I was not alone. Yeah. And then you went on with your life.
I did.
And
Mike from Dexerto?
Yeah.
I just spent the week with him, like last week, the whole week. We were shooting a documentary for some stuff that's going to be coming out on the Deserto channels, but I sort of give them an insight to my life. We partnered with Turtle Wax, which has been like we've always had like a sponsorship relationship with them. Them being from Illinois, me liking cars as I do. I don't know anything about the engines, but I like the way they look, right? So I'm not going to call myself a gearhead. I'm not Crim Six, right? Like that dude knows everything about cars. But I ended up we capped off the week visiting my marijuana farms. Well, they're not mine, but my partner's marijuana farms. But yeah, that's weird moment. So I walked in and I just said hi to you. That's it, no reason.
That's it.
You didn't say, hey, yo, what up?
There was a reason.
What?
That you are the godfather of all these things. You couldn't. There was nothing. There was nowhere in your mind that you were gonna see a dude there by himself and you're gonna let him there, because you want everybody to be welcome and that kindness of, hey, you're by yourself. I have friends. I'll introduce you to my friends.
Yeah.
I think that is what.
Were you wearing an Evil Geniuses jacket and nothing?
I was a fucking random dude there.
That's so myself. Weird. That's not me, right, Matt? Like,
but it was obviously, you knew that I was part of this Call of Duty thing. Okay, I just didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
So you saw that I was there. You pointed out. I was like, hey, you. I think you might have said, hey, you're here for this Call of Duty thing. I was like, yeah. First event. There you go. You introduced me to that, and I had a great night. To what otherwise would have been an awful night.
Yeah. What team were you? What team were you guys?
I was with Evil Geniuses.
Okay, with Evil Geniuses back then.
It was Nagafen, Havoc, Nameless, and Study. And Towie.
Yeah, Nameless and Study. Those dudes they were good back then. And now they're okay casters now. I'm kidding. They're good. Great. They're good people. And
I like that years later I got to see them again, and there was obviously no resentment from how much I put my feet in places that I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, that moment was for me what I say simplifies the whole Hector being the godfather. What does it mean? And I think that it's been really ingrained in my mind. Mm-hmm. So every time that now I'm related to OG, I go to an event, I need to make sure that everybody's feeling
included. That's cool. Pay it forward.
I see it from one, and you pay it to the next one.
Yeah. I don't remember that. When you told me that, I was like, oh yeah. I mean, I guess that sounds like something I would do. But I think that would have been like a thing if I saw you wearing like an Evil Geniuses hat, or may have seen you earlier, and I'm like, yo, maybe I don't know. But I am an outgoing person. I was never like this growing up, but I became an outgoing person once YouTube came into my life. Then I became a super extrovert. My wife is like the complete opposite. She's like an introvert. You ask her a question and she won't freeze, but she'll be like, shit, like she doesn't like the attention. So we balance each other well.
Okay.
All right. So let me. All right. So tell me, you're from Spain?
I am from Madrid.
Madrid.
I was there for the first 19 years of my life, and then I moved to London, Copenhagen when I went to university, and then I moved to LA where I did my master's, and I made films for a living.
Okay, like what? Can you?
So I've made 4 films as a director of photography. Then I decided that I wanted to make my own films. I raised funding and produced films.
Okay.
I produced 4 films, one of them with MGM that I ended up directing, called Tell.
Hotel?
Tell, just like William Tell. It was like a little crime caper kind of thing. And then I did 3 movies for Netflix. And a random fact, I have the most successful movie in history of Romania.
What are the names?
It's called Miami Beachy.
Miami Beachy?
Yeah, I made a movie before COVID in Miami where there's like low-lifers, people from Romania that clean cars, come to live the American dream, and they get like tangled with like narcos and things like that.
Yeah.
All very funny, all very goofy.
I'm gonna watch that. It's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, you're not gonna laugh, dude, because it's a Romanian humor.
Okay. So is it in Armenian?
Yeah.
So it doesn't translate well?
Nothing, none of the humor. Okay. Like, I'll tell you a story without ruining a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
But I was
Miami Beachy.
Yes.
Okay.
So I read the script and I was like, this is not funny. And the Romanians were like, don't worry, dude, we're gonna love it. And then I was watching it on set and I was like, this is still not funny. And they were like, dude, don't worry, they're gonna love it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I saw the editing. I was like, this is not funny still. And I took my mom to the premiere and I told her, okay, mom, disclaimer, this movie is not for us. It might not work. I'm really sorry that I dragged you all the way here. And the movie starts and people are falling out of their seats laughing.
Laughing?
Yeah.
How do you direct something that you don't?
I didn't. That one I produced.
Okay.
I produced that one.
Okay, you produced that
Yes.
one. So how do you spell Bici?
BICI, like beefy.
Okay. B-I-C.
It's a game of words because like it means like a slap.
Untamed Romania?
Sorry?
Is it Untamed Romania? I can't find it.
I'll show you later. I'll give
Okay,
you a
cool.
link.
That's so it's the most famous Romanian movie ever
History,
made.
yeah.
That's so awesome.
It's so strange.
And then what other movies?
I made because they changed the titles depends on the region.
Yeah.
I made one with Gravitas. I made two other ones that end up being one on HBO and one on Netflix. But they were small movies, you know. Think about it, like under 3 million.
3 million.
Under $3 million budgets.
Oh, okay.
Which really is
independents, indies.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got to direct a bunch of things in Japan.
How did you get into the film industry?
I do have one of those Hollywood stories, you know. Came here, didn't have any money. I don't come from a family of filmmakers or anything. And I came here and I realized that I could work more than most people, and that I was willing to sacrifice more than most.
Yeah.
I started. I did my master in production.
Yep.
I started being crew for anybody that would film.
Okay.
I started from like second assistant camera to first assistant camera, cinematographer, gaffer, operator. I will be making money on the side, like operating for commercials.
Yeah.
Because I could operate well. And I got a nomination for a very big award in the cinematography world.
Which is?
The ASC Awards, the American Society of Cinematographers.
Okay.
And that got me going.
Yeah, they got you the clout.
Correct. From that, I went to be the cinematographer on 4 or 5 films. I think it was 4. All first-time directors, and my job was good, but I never really was the guy that made things pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me. I like grimy, like, think about, the Mexican filmmakers, you know?
Yeah.
Rodrigo Prieto, Iñárritu, Cuarón, and all that, where you're like, Amores Perros, like, that was my vibe. Like, the handheld.
Amazing films.
You're there in it, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And after that, I got to work with a lot of first-time directors. And you start getting that itch. It's like, I think I could do this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that these guys know a lot more that I do, eh?
Yeah.
And I took a shot at directing one. And I realized that it was probably not going to be for me, the directing part.
Really?
Even though I was financially successful, the film.
Yeah.
Because at the same time that I was making films, I had other friends that were making films, which became incredibly successful.
Yeah.
And
like who?
Like Wakanda Forever.
Oh, wow.
Ryan Coogler.
Wow.
We had the same editor.
Yeah.
So we were not friends, but we had the same editor and we were part of the same club.
Yeah.
And the idea was that when he finished his first movie called Fruitvale Station, he was
I watched that, Fruitvale.
Amazing film.
Yeah, amazing film. Yeah,
So-
Fruitvale. And it was based on a true story.
Yeah, with Oscar in that part of the Bay Area.
Yeah.
The story of Oscar.
Yeah.
So when Ryan made that film that my friend edited, he was like, I can't wait to make the next one. I can't wait. And he went from Fruitvale to Creed.
Oh my God.
But he couldn't wait. When I finished my movie, it was like a bad relationship. I was
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
I was broken. I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I went around the studios and they will offer me projects and I will say no to everything.
Why?
I was broken, dude. For me, movies are like relationships. Some of them you feel that you have a lot of love to play somewhere else. Some others you feel that
You gave it your all.
that's it. That I don't remember. I remember I have that picture. You know, years later I've romanticized this moment, so it's cooler in my head. But we were shooting nights for the last week because when you shoot nights, you shoot only nights.
Yeah.
So you're working at night and not sleeping during the day.
Yeah.
And I remember finishing the day, having that moment with, imagine like a Gary Jules, mad world, no. Just there watching my life passing by. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
So you said esports.
And I decided that I wanted to make not films.
Okay.
And then I went to commercials and documentaries, and that's how I end up in esports.
Documentaries, yeah?
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, same. Maybe
They're like my one-night stands because the projects are much shorter,
yeah.
and I get to do something that is super fun, experience one life, and then puck, you're out.
Yeah, I want to get to the point to where I'm making documentaries as well. Maybe not filming. Like I have the ideas for them, but I won't be like the guy that executes them. I don't know what you call that person. It's what do you call that? What's
probably executive producer.
Yeah, probably.
If you put the project together and you put the director and the theme.
Oh, cool. That's what I want to do.
And
the theme. Like I already got like, you know, when we were at the Optic House in 2016, Hitch is like, I want to make a Halo documentary.
Okay.
And in my head, I'm like, holy fuck. Like, yeah, that's exactly what we need. And I'm like, and I too wanted to do that. Obviously, I don't have the skills. I'm good at a lot of stuff that I do, but I'm never the best at it. And I surround myself with like very talented people. I just like brains that are talented. That's just like, that's my thing.
Okay.
I like to be around around people who are good at what they do. And I said, I'm like, all right, well, at one point or another, when this is like in a more autopilot mode again with Optic, I think that I'm gonna start concentrating more on those sort of projects, so sort of filling in the gaps in esports that right now aren't being filled. Luckily for us, we have like a good fan base that's gonna watch it because it's gonna be good, and to promote that to people, no matter how good it is, right? Like, think about the amount of YouTubers that exist out there today that are killing themselves creating like the most dope content ever, but the audience just isn't there. Whether it's the algorithm not allowing them to sort of break through, or there's no way for them to advertise it, like all of that. So for us, it's like a plug and play thing, right? Like for us, it's like we can only take up, right now we're only taking up half an hour a day to an hour a day of our fan base attention, right, with content. But you have all these other 23 hours that I want to fill so that they are always entertained, right? Whether it's something playing in the background like the news or whatever, like I want to be able to provide that. And I have a very clear path as to how to get there. It's just a matter of sort of positioning everything in the right place before I'm able to just like be on cruise control again. So
Optic TV. Is that...
Yeah, I mean, it started. I mean, that's how we started from the beginning, correct, right? Like as that. Yeah. So all right. So you're making movies.
Yeah.
You realize that it's not your passion, or that it was, but you've
I don't want to direct them. I wanted to produce them.
Okay.
So my idea was that I could ride on other people's passions, because you normally so for people don't know, there's different ways of making films. Sometimes the script or the story comes from a director, and they're looking for a producer and funding. Sometimes the producer finds the story, and what we do is that we find a director that could either fulfill that vision that the producer has, or that comes in with a vision that the producer is excited about. So I did both of them. I found a script that was like, this is awesome. I don't want to direct it, but let me find someone that can do it. And it was one of the most fulfilling projects ever. The other one, the Miami project, for example, is that, hey, we have this story. Netflix wants to do it, but we need someone that can do it. And there's a lot of things to it, like you have to get like insurance, non-completion insurance. So if something happens in the movie, they will cover you. And I was insurable, which means that the company will give me money in case something happens and I don't finish the film. Meaning I have to be very, very transparent and never not deliver, things like that. So I found a lot of happiness in providing that space for those directors to do it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, COVID messed up a lot of those things for a lot of people.
Fortunately or unfortunately?
Completely unfortunate.
Okay.
Everybody was not working.
Yeah.
And that gave the space for me to end up in OG. Because it happened during...
How did it happen?
Okay, so I was looking more carefully about what was happening strategically in esports.
Yeah, but how did you come across esports? You say you were doing documentaries,
okay,
and then...
Yes, so I have to go back to 2017.
Okay.
I cold messaged PPD.
PPD, Peter Pan Dam.
Yes, we both...
Shout out Peter Pan Dam.
Exactly. So he gave me the first chance. I messaged him and I said, dude, you don't know who I am, but I make films. And I think that we could do something together in Evil Geniuses.
Was he the CEO at the time of Evil Geniuses?
He just started.
Got it.
And I pitched the idea of this A Days With and this other Life of a Genius show. And we started doing it together. That's how I ended up with the Call of Duty team in there in 2017. After that, when Peter left with you, I'm with Optic. Then Phil Aram took over that, and I was with him for a little bit. And it was fascinating. The way that I saw it, it was like I got to live with the Jordans of my generation in one game. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were very much younger than me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I had, I think, a lot of respect for what they were doing, which maybe it provided me a different angle from some other directors, Because some other directors were like, okay, well, nerds, let me see what you guys do. For me, these guys were not nerds. This is the Michael Jordan. Because I've been playing Dota since the beginning.
Yeah.
So after that, then Lionsgate invested in Immortals.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted somebody that knew more of the pure entertainment to try to help Immortals become an entertainment company. You see where this is going?
Yeah.
You see the parallelisms of Optic, Immortals. Can we go there?
Yeah.
After a few months, it was not for me.
Yeah. What was it the direction of like? Was it I'm here to create a media business, and they were like not about that? Like what?
Yeah,
what?
yeah. I would say that the polite and diplomatic way to say it is that they did a lot of land acquisition with getting MIBR and getting the Overwatch slot.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of things that they wanted to focus their attention.
Yeah.
And in order to make this, I mean, this entertainment business, entertainment has to be the first focus, not the last thing on the end. The moment that I put a lot of money or time into developing one specific personality for the audience to feel related to, you trade it. I got nothing. 3 trades in, I got nothing. What am I building at this point?
Yeah.
There's going to be no return on investment because all I'm doing is burning money. It's like a loss leader and marketing budget. And I'm never going to get to my dream. That was, how do we make our own version of Optic? I think also culturally, I was not very similar to what Immortals wanted to be. I was very bro-ish.
Bro-ish.
I was told that many times.
Bro-ish, what do you mean?
I would wear camo pants and jackets and Metallica jackets. And the way that I would speak with them will not be maybe corporate enough. And I was very bro-ish.
Yeah, bro-ish. I'm bro-ish.
I know.
Very bro-ish.
I know you are.
Cool. So you're making so then that's when you moved to Evil Geniuses, and that's when you
Evil Geniuses first,
then Immortals
later Netflix again, and that takes me so Immortals 2017 is Evil Geniuses, 2018 is Immortals, 2018 end is I did a documentary with baseball, loved it, and then 2019 was all this other movie. 2020, I premiered the film in Valentine's Day, and I joined OG right after.
How did you come across the OG opportunity?
I had Johan. So the company is founded by Sebastian and Johan. There are 2 players, so Notel and Seb. And I had Johan with me here in LA because we became friends over hot dogs.
Okay, I love hot dogs, by the way.
Years ago, the hot dog friendship was very...
strong.
Yes. Yeah. In a completely like not I didn't want anything from him. He didn't want anything from me. We're just buddies. We connected. And he came to LA because he went to Lima, to Peru, to do an event there. And we got to spend a few days together. I thought it was very exciting what they were doing. And I told him, hey, look, I think you really should look into these 10 things to do, This is just like free advice. Didn't think much about it at all. And on February, I got a call saying, look, we've been talking internally and we're actually opening of bringing the first CEO ever. Could this be something that you're interested in? Sure. I mean, do you want to join the 90s Bulls? Sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But obviously...
So how many times has OG won?
So they won 4 majors and 2 TIs.
Okay, how much were each TI?
15 and 12 million?
15 and 12 million.
Something like that, yeah.
So how much money did they take home each?
Of that 15?
Yeah.
We divided amongst 5 or a little bit of
15 amongst 5?
Yeah.
Fuck. 15 million? What's it at now?
This year is going to be $40 million prize.
This year's going to be $40 million?
Yes.
And you guys just won a major, right?
No. So we actually our team has not really been performing this year.
Yeah.
We didn't even qualify to any majors this year.
Oh my God.
We had to go to the last chance qualifier on the last slot to qualify to TI.
And you qualified.
Yes, we did.
That's where the famous video of you
crying like
oh, I'm so happy.
Dude, yes.
It's passionate, man.
I mean, I live with them. You know that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same. I'm not like in my throne far away counting my money. It's more like I'm with you right there on the other room.
Yeah, it's the worst, right?
If you cry, I cry. And I can't even see the games because I'm in the other room.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst feeling, like seeing people that you care about lose something that means so much to them. I literally just happened yesterday. But yesterday had a different tone to our loss. It didn't feel like champs to me. You know, still right now as I sit here, we just lost yesterday, but as I sit here, like, it doesn't feel to me as though it was champs. And I don't know whether it was like the online season. I don't know what it was, but like everybody showed up and it was just like, it just didn't feel like champs.
Okay.
It's not an excuse. That's not a reason. That's just what I feel. Right. So when they lost, like, and they were like, just like distraught, I'm like, I don't feel the same way that I once did. You know, I don't feel like every other year where we lost. Like, yeah, it sucks a lot, right? Obviously, seeing my friends, you know, feel like shit, like that sucks. But I still don't believe like our season's over.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because we've sort of become acclimated to the fact that there's like major finals.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't feel that way. So. You know, the game's still going on. I think who won? Do you know if Rocker beat Minnesota? I mean, Rocker beat Ultra. But yeah, like the game's still going on. We're here. We're supposed to be here for another 5 days. But I gotta go home. I miss my pillow.
Yeah.
I mean, I miss my family and my dogs, but my pillow I really miss.
I carry my pillow everywhere I go.
Do you really?
Everywhere.
Your pillow from home?
Yep.
You pack it?
Everywhere.
Why?
I have been in the last 6 months in probably 15, 20 different beds. I couldn't sleep otherwise. I need one thing that will be a
15
thing.
different beds.
Yeah, because by the time I got, like, I went to the hotel in Denmark, hotel in London, hotel in where did I go? I think I went to
that many places you don't even remember?
I've been remote. I've been digitally remote for 1 year and a half.
In Italy?
No, digitally.
Oh,
nomad.
digitally. Yeah.
I left my apartment over a year ago, and I don't have an apartment.
What do you mean?
I left my apartment because when I joined OG, the company is in Europe.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to work in European time. Yes. But COVID, we closed the office. The office was in Paris. We closed the office. But we didn't get the Lisbon facility until December. But I started there in April, May. So what I did is I moved my things to an apartment in Lisbon. And then we got the house in Lisbon. So I had now my things moved from one place to another one.
Yeah.
But I spent time in Madrid in my old apartment with my mom.
Yeah.
It's not my apartment anymore.
Yeah.
And then I left some things there. And then the board meetings are in Denmark. So I have to go to Denmark for the board meetings. And then I travel also for the bootcamp to Denmark with the CSGO team.
Yeah.
And then I came to LA and I got an Airbnb. And then I got another Airbnb. And then it's been like that. I don't have a place where
Where do you keep your stuff?
I have it in boxes in Lisbon.
So how long are you here? How do you spend your time? Actually, you know what? Let's go to a quick commercial break. Let me say hi to the sponsors, and then you got to tell me how do you spend your time. We'll be right back. Pardon the interruption, but I want to say a quick hello to KiwiCo, who is sponsoring the podcast for the first time ever. And I'm actually kind of excited because Liv already plays with this stuff. Judith obviously spares no expense when it comes to her education. And this is one of those things. So with that said, as the background, I want to let you guys know what KiwiCo is, right? KiwiCo inspires kids to see themselves as makers, engineering, creating their own innovative designs and outcomes. Ultimately, Kiwi's mission is to provide next generation of innovations with the tools and foundations to become creative problem solvers and critical thinkers. The mission is to help kids build creative confidence and problem solving skills and have a blast while doing it. And that I will tell you, right? Like, I still to this day, I see her playing with stuff that isn't even part of her class. She just continues to make soaps, make a bunch of different stuff. So I know that it works, and that's why I'm actually kind of hype to be recommending it to you guys. If you guys have any kids, nephews, nieces, whatever, this is a good present. So KiwiCo is defining the future of play by making it engaging, enriching, and of course seriously fun. Super cool hands-on projects and toys designed to expose kids to the concepts in STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math, and are a great resource for learning at home. Obviously, as you guys know, Olivia's homeschooled, so this is part of the reason why Jude has already implemented some of these great programs. Each monthly crate is designed by super smart experts, right, including industrial designers and aerospace engineers, tested by kids, and teaches them themes through hands-on learning and fun. 1,000 plus hours go into developing every single crate. Imagine that. They care more about your kids than you probably do. I know what I'm saying. KiwiCo offers subscription crates for all ages, right? The Panda Crate goes from 0 to 24 months, developed in partnership with the Seattle Children's Hospital. Each crate helps babies learn by doing what they do best: playing, exploring, and most importantly, interacting with adults in their lives. The crates arrive every other month and are filled with 2 months worth of content. You also have the Koala Crate, which is for ages 2 to 4, the Kiwi Crate 5 to 8, Atlas Crate 6 to 11, Doodle Crate 9 to 13. I think that's the one that that lives on right now. The Tinker Crate, which is 9 to 13, Eureka Crate 12 to my age, and the Maker Crate, right, that goes from 14 till you're 104, right? It's a first-time crafter or an experienced maker. We've designed each crate to include a chance to experiment with a new technique, draw inspirations from real designs, and take pride in a finished project that is both fun and functional. So anyway, if you go to kiwicode.com/eavesdrop, as you'll see in the description down below, you can just click it and go check it out. This month, for example, I'm actually kind of hype about this one. The window garden. Make it yourself. You can grow a plant, right? You can grow beans or squash, and you can literally see it in a see-through container, how the roots come to be and explore and be bigger and bigger. Don't get cheeky, okay? We're doing beans and squash, as it says there. This also includes a super cool crystal ombre soap making. Liv already makes soaps on her own, so making crystal ones is going to be super, super good for her. And of course, for your gaming setups, you get the cool light up wire art. You can design it, you can put it together. It teaches you how to do absolutely everything. You guys know me as a creator, right? Not just content creator, but also artwork. Like this to me speaks so much. Like I wish I would have had this growing up, because I can only imagine how much better I'd be at thinking about just everything from a different light. Creativity will solve everything, okay? Creativity is the way of the world. And as I just mentioned right now, if you go to kiwicode.com, that's kiwicode.com/EAVESDROP, you can get your first month, you can get 50% off of your first month. So take a look at it. I highly recommend it. I used it even before, or my family, I didn't personally, but my family used it way before they even became a sponsor of the podcast. So certainly appreciate them. I hope they come back and let me know if you guys happen to try it on, whether that's this month or next month, whenever it is that you guys try it and test it with your kids. I'd appreciate a tweet to let me know how you guys enjoyed it. So thank you to them. Thank you to KiwiCo. Hopefully they can come back with your support. Link in the description down below. Go get going. Go get going, Hector says. And the second sponsor of the podcast is none other than my favorite of all time, DoorDash, right? Why? Because right before I sat down to make this read, I actually ordered my food, which is going to take like 45 minutes to get to my house. I live 8 minutes from here, so it's going to give me enough time to get home, change into my PJs or my, lounge wear, and wait for my food to get there as I sit down to either play Warzone or continue the art project that I'm currently working on. But whether you forgot something in the store, right? This is the other thing. This is brand new. If you forgot something at the store, whatever that thing was, now you can get snacks, drinks, and household essentials within 30 minutes with DoorDash. Dinner, check. Deodorant, check. The morning pick-me-up from Dunkin' Donuts, check. Get everything you need whenever you need it with DoorDash. You want Chinese, they want pizza, somebody wants popcorn, somebody wants sandwiches. Like, it doesn't matter. Anything can come to your door. You can order from everywhere, and it is good. Over 300,000 restaurants across the United States, Puerto Rico, Canada, and of course, as you guys all know, Australia, mate, right? Because DoorDash connects you to the restaurants you love right now, right to your door. And now you can get the grocery essentials you need with DoorDash too. Get drinks, snacks, and other household items delivered to you, as I just mentioned, in under an hour, which is super good. And ordering is easy, right? You open a DoorDash application, choose what you want from where you want it, and your items will be left safely outside of your door with a new contactless delivery feature. With over 300,000, said it, right? Over 300,000 partners in US, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Australia, you can support your local restaurants or your favorite restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, Cheesecake Factory, etc. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash application and enter code EavesDrop2021. That's 25 off up to $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash application in the App Store and enter code EAVESDROP 2021. That's EavesDrop 2021. Don't forget, that's code EavesDrop 2021 for 25% off your first order at DoorDash when you download the application and enter code EavesDrop. Subject to change and terms, as always, may apply. Back to my man JMR Luna to continue this very, very, very thoughtful conversation, if I do say so myself. And guess what? I did just say so myself. All right, so you were telling me about how you're spending your time like in 2 places, right? Here in the United States and also in Europe?
In Europe.
But 6 months and 6 months, or?
I go back and forth.
Back and forth?
Yeah.
Why do you even, do you
I
love it here, or?
I love America.
You do?
I love it.
Yeah. What about it?
You know, like when you were home and you never felt that you fit in, and then you come to a place, that was it. I think America was for me everything that I wanted. Yeah. It was a place of belonging where my...
Pine Park. It's a place where you belong. I'm kidding, go on.
Yeah. It was a place of belonging. And I love it here, the way that people, especially, I do like LA, California. I like how Americans are very aggressive with how they finance and how they operate businesses. It's not about being mediocre. It's about being excellent all day. You don't want to be the one business that is 1 million, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. No, it's go big or go home. Yeah. And how the market collapsed so fast that unless you go big and go home, you get eaten so quickly. I also like in Europe, we have the division between life and work. Yeah. I don't even know what that means, because my life is my job, and my job is so awesome. That is my favorite part of my life. Yeah, same. So same, 100%. Every day that I have a chance, yes, I want to share it with my friends, because being on the top alone is very lonely. But I mean, don't tell this, but I would do this job for free, you know? Yeah. This is awesome. Well, I'm not going to tell them. Yeah, nobody's listening. Don't worry. But yeah, like... no one's watching. My life is awesome. Yeah. I get to wake up every day and say, okay, what do I do now? Yeah. Yeah. I can relate. It's awesome. And I know what you mean about belonging, because in Schaumburg, or in like as much as I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago until I was 37 years old. Okay. 37 years old. Yeah, 37 years old. It wasn't until I moved to Frisco, Texas, that I felt at home. My wife, same thing. Yeah, like they feel like that's their city, right? Where before we've spent 10 years somewhere, and here we are 4 years into our new journey, and that's what has felt home the most for us. So I definitely understand that. What I don't understand is the going back and forth stuff, right? Like if I'll tell you, I think it's a vitally function. I wake up every day at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. when I'm here, because 9 a.m. in Europe is my midnight. Okay. There's so much time I can live at night before losing my mind. Yeah. So what I do is that after being here for, let's say, 1 or 2 months, I start getting depressed because I live through nights. So I go back to Europe. And when I'm in Europe, I start missing LA. Yeah. And I start missing America, and I start missing the group of friends that I have here that makes me thrive, you know? Yeah. So then I come back. Okay. And then I start working through nights, and then I was like, oh shit. And then I go back to Europe. So you wake up at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. 3 or 4 a.m. every day, yeah. To just do work, just wait to see what's up. Oh yeah, my days are actually very structured. I know exactly what I'm trying to achieve every day, but I only know that I have X amount of hours, because at 10, 11 a.m., everybody goes radio silence on me, because they go to bed, or they start going to home. It's 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Dude, I don't know how you do that. I don't have structure at all. Okay. I'm king freestyle. I let my life guide me to wherever it is that we're going. If something appears in front of me and I see an opportunity, we strike, we take it. But I don't think I've ever like gone out and been like, all right, this is what I'm trying to achieve today. I think I don't even know where to begin on something like that. I'm very clinical. I'm very, very clinical. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So my mom used to tell me that there is 2 ways of living life. Yeah. One of them is doing whatever you want. Yes. And then go to whatever outcome it goes. Yes. The other one is decide the outcome and then choose the steps that will lead you to that outcome.
Yes.
That's where my tactical or clinical approach is, because I already know what I want. I want OG to be a global brand that is on the best esports titles in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the best statement, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What are the biggest titles in the world? In Europe are CSGO, Dota, and League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
But what about Southeast Asia?
Mm-hmm.
What about China? The titles change. In order to get that, I need to figure out either can I get into a title that can translate into an audience there,
Mm-hmm.
or what is the value proposition that will lead me there. So every day I'm scouring the internet or seeing what you guys are doing. I believe a lot in figuring out what works for other people
Mm-hmm.
and figure out if you can do it.
Yeah.
So I watch all your content. I watch the thieves, you know, I am very plugged in what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. But it's competition, right? You got to keep an eye on what everybody else is doing and find ways to innovate, find ways that, you know, to see things differently. I too believe that, you know, expanding into other regions is a way forward. How you get there without losing the core values
Mm-hmm.
of what you are changes by region, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
right? The comedy that we apply here in the United States doesn't translate to even sometimes London or Australia, right? So for us is figuring out that formula, right? Because I do think that expanding into India was a smart thing to do. They just botched it a little bit, right? Because it was just there was no content created around it, you know. So I believe in the expansion of a brand globally. Is just like you have to be so tactical when it comes to that specific. So I guess I am structured when it comes to content. Aside from that, you know, again, it's just like I'm a free flowing individual.
That's the Hector superpower, you know.
Yeah.
Make easy what other people find very complicated because it's very intuitive for you.
Yeah, it is, and I also don't give a shit, right? Like I care. I care about every single one of my teammates, right? Whether it's Maddie, the camera person, or the editor, or whether it's Scump, right? And everything in between. Like I care about the success of my people, but I also don't give a shit, right? Like I'm like, if someone's having a bad day, guess what? I have a bad day too, right? And we have to all work around our own issues to go to a common goal. And then if we're able to entertain some people, goal accomplished. Right, so I find myself relying on somebody like Roger, who's like the head of content at Optic, and I look to him to find the structure into how and when the schedules are for me to show up to do that part of the job. Obviously, the boring part of the job is like the most time consuming, whether it's you know, finding new partners from a sponsorship perspective, figuring out what the next thing is. And then the content side, which is what I love to do, that's the easy part. And as long as somebody tells me where to be, what time to be there, I'm going to show up, and it's my favorite thing to do. So it's like the break.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
I love the business part.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like my own video game, my own playing Risk, playing Monopoly, and all of those things combined.
Yeah.
And you can see like the matrix, you know? If you start seeing what the company is doing and who they partner with, it reveals so much about how their CMO thinks. The chief marketing officers.
Yeah.
Because to give a little bit of explain this is when a brand gives you money, is they're trying to achieve something. They're trying to get either to access to your audience or have a brand association or literally create views or KPIs or influence in one field. So if you see how they're partnering and the content that they do, dude, I know how the CMO thinks. Yeah. I know what they want. And I find it's my video game. I'm not good at any video game. So this is mine.
That I do. I am part of every single initial meeting, definitely for partnerships, because I'm never going to commit myself to creating a piece of content that somebody else comes up with. So when it comes to like the sponsorship side, I'm there from the moment that the inception of the relationship begins, because not only am I not going to commit myself to doing something, but I'm also not going to commit Scump and Formal and anybody else to also be a part of that. To give you an example, there used to be this one brand that wanted to partner with Optic, and during the meeting, one of the ideas from an internal person at the new Optic said, all right, so because there's this cool aspect to it and this fire aspect to the brand, Like that was just their branding, like cool and hot. They're like, what we were thinking about doing is we wanted to put, you know, Scump and the boys on a plane to the Alps so that they can climb an iceberg. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? You're gonna put players who use their hands in a position to where they can get some frostbite or a severed hand? Like that makes no sense to me. So those instances, I am able to be like, we're not fucking doing that. I can't believe you even brought it up. Where's your brain, right? But secondly, I just know that the audience, people watching us, I know what they want more than they know what they want. Like my job is to know.
That's it.
Yeah.
You just hit it. You just hit it. That's the extra superpower.
Yeah.
Because you've not needed to bend to market. You have led the market to follow you.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of what Steve Jobs, you know, the legend of Steve Jobs was that he was able to determine what people wanted before they wanted it.
Yeah.
So the reason why I follow your path that you paved is because you have already put that inside the brand's mentality. So I can go in and say, hey, they've done it.
Yeah.
It is successful. You cannot do a product market fit.
Yeah.
You can't fit it, your product, if it doesn't fit.
Right.
Your content, if it doesn't fit, is not going to work.
No.
The audience is not going to understand it. And I can get away with this because you've done it before and I can show it.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about that is, again, I see Optic from a fan's perspective. I'm the biggest fan of Optic. I just love Optic. Optic is everything to me. I want what I envision as when I'm looking at Optic as a drama show, I see it as like, all right, we have an announcement to make. We can just say, hey, welcome to the team. Or we can have an Easter egg moment where they appear like you never saw it coming. You know, like surprise and delight, right? That's always been my motto, surprise and delight. Because that's what I would want out of a show that I'm being entertained by. That's what I want to see in Succession. That's what I want to see in Rome, in Deadwood. Like all of these shows that I watch and I'm a fan of, like they all have this element of surprise and delight. Whether it's a character coming back from the past and, you know, hitting it forward, how that gets announced. Like I like to do that, and that's where I put the most effort. That's where we spent the most time. We sit as a group, whether it's Matt, Josefo, Roger, Paige, whoever, like everybody has an opinion, right? Because whether their idea is good or not, that idea may lead me to think a different idea. You know what I mean? So it's just like a compounding way of sort of putting the storyline together for what we're doing. And the good thing about looking at your own brand from a fan's perspective is that, one, you're sort of put yourself in a position to be like, how is that going to make me feel? And if it makes me feel happy, then obviously everybody else that's there is going to feel happy. If they feel like, that's all right. Like if I feel like that's all right, they're definitely going to be like, that's all right. There's going to be a lot of people that like it, but the majority, or not the majority, but there's going to be a few that are going to be just like me and be like, that didn't hit for me. Okay. So looking at Optic from a fan's perspective has always been like my biggest gift, because I've always looked at it as something that isn't mine, and it's just a show that's entertaining me. It's like, what would I want Hector to be doing in this scenario? How would I want Hector to act? Like, how is Hector like just a regular fucking dude? Which I am. I just happen to be doing what I love to do for a living.
So then I have a very interesting and maybe too private question for you as a CEO. How do you bring together the vision that you have of Optic and the vision that the fans have of you? You know, it's like in the brand prism, is the difference is who you are to who they think you are, and how similar it is that.
Dude, what you see on camera is the same dude you got. Like any single fan interaction I've ever had, I talk to them the same way that I talk to Matt, the same way that I talk to my brother, the same way. I'm just a big brother.
So you're so authentic that both sides, they just can live. They can live
Dude,
without the divider.
Think about how stressful and how how could you live life like that when you're in front of the camera every single day? How can you lead a double life?
But think about it, like most brands in the world, you know, Coca-Cola, Amazon, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they don't operate internally how they operate externally. They have a vision. Madrid is all clean. We are the noble team. Inside, I've been inside. They're struggling. They're actually more of a startup than people think. So it's very hard to have the culture in the company reflect what fan thinks. For example, I'll give you an example from my world, which is a dilemma that I'm experiencing right now. OG was a company with no commercialization. It was just people playing video games. Now I'm here and I'm trying to make a business out of this. But in a weird way, making a business could make me lose part of the identity. And if you don't make it a business, then we know where we end up. And we don't want to fundraise. We've never fundraised.
Mm-mm.
But if we don't commercialize and we don't fundraise, we die.
Yeah.
Now, if we fundraise, then you're in a different place altogether.
Yeah.
And if you commercialize, then the audience complains.
Yeah.
I find it so hard to navigate this part where at one point I'm going to be like, look, I'm going to have to live with this one. Even though the fans might not like it.
Yeah.
I hope that at one point I get to give them something back, you know?
Look, the thing that I'll say on that is like, look, dude, just like you, they're going to be disappointed, right? When you're disappointed and then they're disappointed, then it makes it easier, right? Like you're together, you're both like sad. Like we lost yesterday. Like, yeah, it sucks. But we've been here before. Like we're going to get out of it. We're going to win again. And it's going to feel good when we do that. I think the losing the identity part is something that I think that if you don't overthink it solves itself. Because you are who you are, period, right? Like the one thing that they tell you, like on all the fucking memes and all the inspirational quotes, is like, be yourself. Everybody else is taken. As cheesy as that is, it's the truest shit that exists, man.
But I'm not OG. I was not the founder of OG.
Yeah.
So I am now a whole new element.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out how, honestly, how not to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because I saw how it happened in other esports organizations that a new voice comes in and suddenly it's very disruptive. So I'm trying to be a ninja. I'm trying to be invisible. But slowly my decisions are starting to be questioned or some of that. Yeah. And I'm constantly trying to figure out how do I not disappoint the fans? And you know, like we play it cool, like, oh, cool. I read every comment. Yeah. I read all the fans because I need to keep it. But I need to keep the pulse of what's happening, you know? Yeah.
I mean, you can do that. I mean, you know the decisions that you're making, why you're making them. Yeah. As long as you can make good on that, like I think that everyone's gonna be good. Hey, look, fans are gonna get fucking mad. I get mad, right? Yeah. Like I get mad all the time. Everyone's always in a constant state of either mad, complaining, or happy. Right? It's never gonna be like fucking happy all the time. It's like if everybody had a Ferrari, would the Ferrari be as cool as it is? No. Right? Like that's my approach to this thing is like, what do I like to do? Because there's a lot of people that like to do what I do. And we get to relate because we both watch Call of Duty. We get to relate because we both like YouTube videos, right? So for you to sort of like sit there and try to lead a double life where like, and granted, right? Like I'm not fully myself on camera, right? No one can be. But I am as close to me as I ever can be, right? Obviously as transparent as I can, as long as there's no business or ruined business or, you know what I mean? Like secret business stuff. Aside from that, like I tell everybody everything. Like I literally, my staff knows everything. Everything that's going on from start to finish, they know. Minor details, obviously not because of, you know, what good does it do. But as far as decisions go, as far as like, what do you think about going into this esport or going to that, but like that is all hands on. Before we stepped into Counter-Strike, I was talking to PJ from our Halo team. I was talking to Crimsix, and I was talking to, you know, everybody, like even content creators. Like, what do you think? You know, for me to not make my life easier by keeping everything secretive and not utilizing other people's brains who are so ingrained in the space is just a disservice to myself. And I love me. You know what I mean?
That's like the misdirection. You were complimenting everybody else so you could turn it around and compliment yourself.
See, that is one thing that I do that I think is like the fake part of me where I'm like, I'm Dr. Disrespect. Okay. That's me. You know what I mean? That personality that he created, he took that from me, like the real me, right? Like he's like overly, you know, just show-offy.
Do you like being around fans and talking to fans?
Absolutely.
I find I find it a little bit tricky, but more intimidating, more than, not that I don't want it. Yeah. It's like, again, imposter syndrome. Yeah. It's like whatever you love about OG, I didn't build it. So go to them and claim them, you know? Yeah. They are the ones that you're looking at. Dude, I'm just a guy playing with Excel at home.
Yeah. Dude, it's just a cool thing. You know, like everybody knows you're cool with everyone. What's there not to love? walking down the street to the Yard House, which is like a restaurant, like 4 different people. Yo, tough loss, man. Next time. It fucking happens. You know what I mean? Oh, fuck yeah, it sucks. You know what I mean? It's true. But like me talking to them, sitting with, like, the only thing I don't like to do with fans is sit and watch my team play. Only thing I don't like to do. I don't like to be in the crowd watching my team play. I'll sit in the crowd and watch other people. I'll do, you know, pictures and all that shit. I mean, this time we couldn't because they had like this super strict protocol.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, like I had to tell somebody that like sort of forced themselves into a selfie. I'm like, yo, don't post that until Monday because I don't want to be in trouble with whoever's in charge of this thing, who's looking at all the social media posts and say, yo, you broke fucking protocol. You can't come in anymore. So I'm like, yo, don't post that until Monday. And they're like, yeah, cool, right?
Okay.
So again, I talk to them as directly as possible, and I expect the same from them, right? Like, I don't, oh, fucking hacks. Instead of, yo, good game. Yeah, good fucking game.
So now that I'm meeting you for the first time in person, I realize that you're so authentic because you are part of the community, and the community is you. I am not necessarily a member of my own community.
Why? Do you want to?
I'm just, I like other things in life.
Yeah.
I do share the love for Dota. I play Dota, but when I am with the community, I felt that I was comfortable within my friends, within the community.
Yeah.
It doesn't represent the Reddit or the other things that other part of a big part of the community.
Yeah.
And when I watch even content, I might not watch outside of the gaming competitive side of the content.
Mm-hmm.
So when for example, I've never been to an event with OG yet.
Oh.
Because it was COVID.
You just started.
So
yeah.
I've never been to an event with them.
Yeah.
So I never got to see the love from the fans. All I get is the tweet hate.
Yeah, I've done a really good job. I was telling Seth this yesterday because he was on Twitter immediately after that. I'm like, get the fuck off of Twitter. I literally, when we lose, I go on Twitter and I say, yo, GG's to all the things, and I just shut it off because there's gonna be tweets filled with support. Right, but you can't. You're bound to run into the you should drop fucking 4-1 fucking Dashy and blah 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 blah. Like, I get it. I've been there as a fan of Chicago sports teams, but being in this position, like I literally stopped suggesting anything about any sports team ever. If the Bears are finally getting a good quarterback, good. But if they don't have a good quarterback, I don't say anything. I don't know what the fuck's happening behind the scenes. Yep. Same with some people that criticize what we do, don't know what's happening behind the scenes. They don't know the financial responsibility. They don't know the financial intricacies that it takes to be able to do the things that they want to do. Right? It's always like, give this person the Supermax. First of all, how the fuck do you know that they're not already on the Supermax? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, they made a good play, give them a raise. I make good plays all the fucking time. I don't have a raise. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep this level. All right, let's be fucking cool about this. I'll pay him. You give me the money.
I messaged you when remember that beat that it was for E3 with you and Matt?
Me and Nadeshot?
Nadeshot, and he was talking about how fucking hard it is to win.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite moment of esports in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Because people don't know how fucking hard we try.
Yeah.
We're trying.
Yeah.
We're fucking trying. Even when we don't win, we're fucking trying.
Yeah.
Okay, we might not make every decision on one objective, like you said, because there is a whole umbrella. But we're fucking trying.
Yeah, he got a little bit upset that went out the way. And I'm like, I was thinking,
the best fucking moment.
I'm like, dude, that was so honest.
So honest.
People, like, if somebody gave you shit, block them and never hear from them again. It literally takes you 1 second to block them. My thing takes me 5 seconds because I follow them first so they can get the notification that, yo, Hex followed me. So when they go look, they see blocked. They're like, oh, he fucking blocked me.
Never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that moment was like, look, everybody that is, I'm not going to say everybody, but most of the people that are in our positions, we're trying to fucking win.
Yeah.
And we're trying to win because of what it means for the guys as well, more than what it means for your sponsors. Because those guys are devoting their life. They never forget it. You know, this is not like an anime show.
Yeah.
Those guys could do other things.
Yeah.
They have money just to go home and just do other things.
Yeah.
And they still take immense amount of time and sacrifices to be there.
Yeah.
Like, imagine my guys from OG. I mean, if you look at the charts of highest earners, they're all there. They're all us.
Yeah.
And they still leave their families, wife, babies at home.
Yeah.
And they lock in the house with me for 4 weeks every day.
Yeah.
Because they want to win. And they're so passionate about winning.
Yeah.
So when they don't, oh my God. I feel for them. My life is awesome. Nobody's putting a camera in front of my face when I'm playing.
Yeah. That's the toughest part. You know,
it's right here, guys. Like, imagine that you could videotape the best moment of your life, but it could be the worst moment of your life. And the camera is here. Like, what would you do if you knew that maybe somebody's going to videotape the best on the worst part of your time, of your life? The moment when you lose, it's in your eyes, dude.
Yeah.
It's the shattering moment of, fuck, now what?
Yeah.
We do it all over again? Your players are reaching an age, you know? My players are reaching an age.
Yeah.
And they still figure out how to do it all over again.
If in Call of Duty, Clayster's like, what, 29, I think? Like 28, 29. So we know that, you know, he's still competing at the highest level. So we know that it's possible.
Okay.
You know, so for us, like Seth's, what, 26? 26. So
so you still have a few years.
He's going to play well into a certain... The thing that people don't understand is that Scump, for the last decade, has not only been the face of Call of Duty, but he's been the face of his own brand, the face of Optic, and also a professional gamer. People's like, oh, he's washed. And I'm like, there's not a single other professional in all of esports that is dividing his time on both things, right? Building his own personal business and also competing at the highest levels. People need to realize that the second that this dude decides to focus on just one of them, whether it's pure competition and no more content, or pure content and no more competition, sky's the limit, right? If he is this good, splitting his time as a professional and a content creator, you can only imagine the ceiling that this dude has if he only focused on competition. But his responsibility as the face of an entire league almost is that he has to continue to do the things that have put him in the position that he's in. So any single time that anybody criticizes Scump to me, super block immediately. And I love it when they create another account. Because
they really go that committed.
Yeah, because I'm like, hell yeah, they just spent another like 10 minutes for me to press one button in a millisecond.
I think
amazing
that one of the best things of Call of Duty is that Scum exists.
It's what?
That is Scum exists.
Yeah, Scum sucks. Yeah.
Because he's existent, how nice he is. There's been no conflict. There's been no drama with this kid. He's been just pure clean. It's very strange that you have a guy that is honest, that clean, that good at the game, and that good in camera. I think that is part of the success of the whole ecosystem that you guys live in.
Yeah, dude.
And your ability to convince, inspire, and nurture that, of course.
Dude, we there's no room for fuck-ups here. You know what I mean? I have, from the beginning, I have a very, very, very direct conversation with every single one of my influencers, every single one of my pro players. If you fuck up and you put Optic in a weird position, you are fucking gone, because you're not gonna put your stupidity is not gonna affect me feeding my daughter ever. Your stupidity is not gonna put a bad mark on Optic. We don't get to suffer for one person fucking up. No questions asked, and guess what? You're the one that's leaving. I'm not even kicking you. You fuck up, you know you gotta leave. Period.
Yeah.
There's no room for anything else. There's never been a single fucking leak from Optic ever until we started to expand and started to bring more people in. I like to keep a small group. Matt does the job of 3 people. Roger does the job of 3 people. I do the job of 15 people. It's not that good. And then modest. And then, you know what I mean? But I put my people in.
I wish I could see Matt laughing behind the camera.
He's used to it. Yeah. I think they're used to it, right? It's part of the charm. You know what I'm saying?
I see. Just the leaking humidity.
But it is. I push everybody. You know, like I push everybody. I shouldn't be creating content. Here I am doing a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, here I am vlogging. I should be behind closed doors the way that you are focusing on the business. And again, that's the other thing that I'm doing, right? Like, I'm doing 2 things. If I just quit one and focus on the other, like, what are the limits, right? Like who knows?
By the inspiration that you provided to me, I think there was a moment of analyzing. I was like, okay, can I be Hector? And the answer is like, nope. I can be someone else.
You don't want to,
and
man.
I could be really good at some of the things. And I saw Carlos from G2. Can I be Carlos? I can't, because it's not authentic to me. I don't feel or talk or do like that. I'm more of a guy that you say something, I'm going to go later, I'm like, oh, dude, I thought about the perfect response. Can I say it now? It's like, no, the time is over.
Yeah.
So I need time. I need space. I need to think. But I think, and I hope, I can actually be good at
Yeah.
my job, you know?
Yeah. I see. I think like Carlos, for example, like I like he's gotta be on this podcast like sooner or later.
Mhm.
Right? I was on his podcast. I'm like, I'll only do your podcast if you come on my podcast. And then Rodriguez. Like I like what he's built. You know, like I like how he is going. He's just like polarizing, you know, dude. You know what I mean? And there's room, and what people don't understand about the internet is that there's room for everyone. The internet is so big that you're bound to relate to someone. All you have to do is put yourself out there to be relatable too, right? Everybody has an older brother. Everybody has an older friend that acts the same way that I act, right? I can sit here and take myself serious as all hell, not swear. I mean, I can not swear, right? Like I can watch my mouth. But I don't think that I don't think that it would just be so taxing on me, and I don't ever want to not love what I do anymore. Since 2009, I said I'm only gonna do the things that I love to do. Period. And I won't jeopardize that for anything, which is why you'll never hear fucking drama coming from my mouth. Fuck that, right? You're never gonna catch me, you know, doing shit that's gonna hit the news in a bad way. If it's business related, obviously, if drama is drama in esports, right? Whether a player gets dropped and he's unhappy, or whether I pick up a player, they're unhappy, whether I collab with somebody and they're unhappy, like that's just that. But as far as like you said, a clean brand, like we strategically, purposely made it a point to, in the first part of Optic, to never do the drama shit, keep everything in. Like, man, if I would have taken the other approach, like we would have been bigger than anything, bigger than we were, you know, right? Because we would have been really transparent. If I was to upload the fight between Nadeshot and Scump, million views, right? And then you get more fans because they're like, holy shit, these guys are so real. They're posting like all this secret shit. I just couldn't do it. We decided, like, we were as clean whistle as we probably could, right? It was the Jenna Marbles versus the iJustines, right? Jenna Marbles has at the time had all the views in the world. Justine didn't have as many views, but she had got all the brand deals because she was so clean.
Yeah,
so,
I understand.
You know, so I wanted to be the iJustine, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
How long normally
Optic.
do you have this post?
Let me guess, you gotta go to the bathroom?
No, but it was more like, because I'm about to go into another rabbit hole, and I don't know if we'll have time.
You fucking run it.
Okay, so another rabbit hole will be, obviously, there was, for all of us that we saw what happened with Optic, and then when Infinite was created, and then Optic came back, you know, not my Optic, and then the Huntsman and all that. I think that it's been incredible seeing how loyal the fan base is and are and were, because I went to Champs this yesterday and today. Everybody, there is 60 to 70% of people wearing Optic gear.
Yeah.
And those people at one point were Huntsman. And tomorrow, if you go somewhere else, they're going to come with you and with the group of loyal allies that make Optic, you know?
Yeah.
How do you even, how can you inspire that level of loyalty with your staff and with your fans?
By not complicating it, you know, like, we're here to entertain, you're here to be entertained. We're going to make decisions that you're going to like, and you're going to make decisions that some of you are not going to like, but I'm not going to hear it anyway because you're muted. You know what I mean? So for me is being as, and again, it's like,
that's the key to my success, finding out the mute button.
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, you live a happy, you're not going to make everybody happy. And as long as you can make the majority of the people happy by doing the right things. Look, I didn't have to try as hard as I did to get Optic back. You know what I mean? I didn't have to, like this, the last 3 years have sort of been a move in silence kind of thing for me, where I wish that I could have been telling the green wall the whole time. I'm like, yo, I'm fucking trying my ass off here to make things right. You know what I mean? It took 3 years, but I made things right. And on the second go around, I'm going to make things better than they were, right? Like for me taking that exit so I can have more help, for me to have like more freedom to do what I love to do, was like, it has always been the goal, right? Like, as much as I like to have a small group, like I see the benefits in having a structure that helps, right? I like the fact that we're able to have 3 camera guys and editors, 3 camera guys that edit, produce, set up, and they don't have like a production team around there, because when it comes down to it, the work that they're creating are nominated for the same awards that people who have 35 fucking people on their production staff.
Whole teams.
You know what I mean? So
I see you.
yeah. So like that's something that's something that you can be proud of, right? When Hitch won Videographer of the Year back to back, he did it with a cheap ass fucking camera and a good story. No help from anybody. I was sometimes driving the drone, but it was all hands on deck. And that's the way that I like to do things, because I'm like, look, you can throw money at a situation all day long. Money, you can find it everywhere if you're able to know where to look. Skill, ability to see where this thing's going, you can't find that anywhere. So when we have the secret sauce, it's just continue to fucking pour it all over the place. That's it. And we're going to continue to do that. So how do I demand that level of loyalty? Look, it doesn't matter if we're in LA. It doesn't matter. We could have been Optic Los Angeles, Optic Perth, Australia, Optic, you name it. And it doesn't matter. It's the same person. It's like we're just wearing a different jersey, right? Like it's about the personality. Like they know who I am. They know every single one of my dog's names. That wasn't an accident. That's just me sharing my life with it. And because they know me better than they know you, right? They're gonna cheer for me because they don't fucking know you. You know what I mean? And I'm saying you in a general sense.
I understand.
So for me, it's always been like a word of mouth sort of relationship. And who doesn't like to have friends? Like I've always been a good friend to a lot of people. So for me to sort of share my life with more friends that I've never met, that's the easiest thing to do. I've been doing it all my life, and it translates, right? But they know, right? The people that follow me to Huntsman, the people that follow me wherever I went, like they know who I am, right? They didn't know that I was fucking going through shit because I just don't share that stuff, right? If I'm sad, what good is it to make you feel sad that I'm sad? You know what I mean? I'd rather be sad on myself than have like 100,000 people that watch my vlog every day sad with me. So I carried it with me for as long as I could. All my friends knew, all my people that I work with knew the struggles that I was going through in trying to get this thing back and trying to, you know, correct the course of what I'd done. But until I got it done, like what good was it for me to say, yo guys, I'm trying. What the fuck do I need a pat on the back for? I need to show them that I was sorry of how things went, you know, how Optic turned out to be. That's not what I signed them up for. That's not what they signed up for. So for 3 years, I had this sort of guilt. I'm like, man, these people gave me everything. I gotta fix my relationship. We had a good relationship no matter what, but in the back of my head, we didn't because there was something missing, and the thing missing was the logo. So I worked my ass off, and here we are again. Second crack at it.
How do you feel about that?
Good.
No, I feel like, so Hector, relax, sit back, and how do you feel about this?
Dude,
how is your? Do you sleep at night better?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, 100%. I feel complete. I've been Optic Hex for a decade, longer than a decade, and all of a sudden I'm just Hex, no Optic.
Oof. Oof, indeed.
Oof. Hurts my heart. Hurts their heart. Can't do it. Couldn't do it. I had to fight, and fight I did. Guess what? I won.
It's been a very interesting journey to see from the outside, you know. So we mentioned at one point that other teams are competitors.
Yeah.
For me, I understand the competition part. For me, we're all allies because if you have an exit, it's good for me.
Yeah.
If you have a $10 million business deal, it's good for me because we need to attract more money.
Yeah.
So obviously, Evil Geniuses and Optic were my two favorite brands in North America.
Thank you.
And I wanted those two brands to succeed and to do really well. And when Optic went to a transformation, I really don't want to get into any of the drama.
Sure.
To a transformation, Optic for me is more valuable when you have it.
Yeah.
Infinitely more.
Yeah.
For esports, for the story that we're going to tell, for just like G2 in Carlos' hands is more valuable than G2 outside of Carlos' hands.
Yeah.
So when I see that you're here now and what you're doing, my question would be, what's next? Like, what do you see this? Because this is a whole new opportunity, you know, to redeem or to build or to do something very different. And you actually had, in a way, I know it's not going to feel like this, but dude, you had 2 years to realize, or fuck, once I get it, I'm finally going to be able to do this.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think what's next, just to be Optic. That's just to continue to be Optic. Just exist, do what comes natural to us, That to me is like the secret, right? If I force myself into saying we're going to be a media company that operates in esports, I'm sort of saying that I don't want to be a competitive, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't have, the only plan that I have is to take up more of their time. You know, that's my thing.
So you want to provide more entertainment value, and that it can take more of their time.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. Yeah, that's for me, that's the name of the game. I like to entertain. I like to make people laugh. In high school, class clown.
Really?
Sure. Yeah.
I was a ninja in the background, not talking to anybody.
Oh no, dude! I was a social butterfly. Yeah, I was friends with a bunch of people. I was friends with the basketball team. I was friends with the black dudes. I was friends with Puerto Ricans. I was I was everywhere. That's always been like I just like to be, I just like to make people laugh. That's my thing, and that's a form of entertainment that I know that I'm good at because I've always been doing it. So if I just happen to do it in front of cameras for other people, then that's cool. And that's where the ease comes in.
Okay. Interesting. So now I have another question for you. Like I get to take over. When you think about my OG, how often have you thought about us in the last 6 months?
Our
existence, our name, what we're doing.
I'm not big into the Dota scene, so not a lot. The only time I hear anything is when I see your tweets, when I follow you.
So I probably think about you guys around 6 times a day.
Yeah. Why? Just because of what we're doing?
It's fascination. It's pure fascination. It's like I can't keep my eyes off Optic, and I've been like this for years. I can't. I don't know what it is. Well, I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's because I grew up watching it.
Yeah.
I grew up when you were in the house with the kids. I grew up when you are with Matt, traveling around and doing these things, and it has in many ways shaped who I am before I joined esports.
Yeah.
Because in a way, I think that the key here is that you were the group of friends that I wish I had.
Yeah.
And in a way, I had them.
You did. We were there.
I have my own personal relationship with Optic, even though it's not reciprocated because you don't know I exist.
Right.
But you're part of my life because I'm in my living room.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that, Matt? That I am at home at 36 years old, eating lunch while watching your podcast.
Yep.
The amount of influence that you have in my life, and you had it growing up. I'm in Japan and I'm watching your videos, the Mexican candy. Dude, I
Mexican candy, yeah.
The Mexican candy videos. Like I've been in different places in my life as an adult working on films.
Yeah.
While going home at night and I said, what do I watch tonight? Mexican candy or whatever fucking videos were.
I think it's coming to fruition like now more than ever, where people, I mean, the golfer, right? The Spanish golfer, right? That said that, when he won what did he win? The tour? I don't fucking, the Wimbledon or some shit. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's tennis.
I was gonna say I don't know anything about golf, but I don't think Wimbledon.
No, the thing about golf, like anything else, and this is why I know that the Optic model works. Okay, not only have we done it and we've done it well, and it created, right, but obviously Nate has got a really good thing going with 100 Thieves, right, following the same thing, right, like FaZe, Optic. And I mean now 100 Thieves because Nate, is Optic, right? Still, like that works. But when the Guggen guys, when the Guggen squad did it, like that was the same sort of like it's the same playbook, and it works outside of that. So when people say is like, how do you feel about your competition? I'm like, well, I've done it in esports and I've done it in the outdoor world, right? Golfing, like that's the next thing that I'm helping with, right? With the good golf guys. Like those guys they are going to be the next big thing, period. Golf is so massive, and the fact that these kids, right, these dudes, these college age kids are having the viewership that they're having, they're just having fun, and they're having these like memorable moments on camera is going to make them be the biggest thing in golf in less than 2 years, guaranteed. There will be that they will be so fucking famous because of their golf content, because they are a group. They are the people that you want to be friends with, that you're friends with, but they don't know that you exist.
Exactly.
And that is the magic, because you want to be a part of that so bad.
I was part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I was part of Optic.
Dude, the biggest thing that it wasn't sustainable, right? Vlogging every single day was not sustainable, especially because I had a business to fucking run.
Yeah.
But I cannot tell you how many times people were disappointed that they weren't having their breakfast with me on my vlog, and how many times they were mad. They was like, yo, I don't have anything to watch on my lunch. What the fuck? And I'm like, you know what? My bad. Because I led you on for like 3 months straight, and then I took a break.
And then you don't call me.
Yeah,
You don't call me
exactly. so that level of relationship, like I feel it, and that's my job, right? Like I know that I have the privilege to steal 10 minutes of their day on a vlog, an hour and 17 minutes of this podcast. So that's a responsibility that like will never ever leave my heart or my mind ever. Like that is my response for the rest of my life. I'm going to be cool with the people that watch me because I'm always going to be on camera, period. I don't know when it starts or when it stops, but I'm going to try to go as long as I can. Right now, I'm only uploading the podcast.
Okay.
I mean, I am on other pieces of content on the Optic main channel, but because of the business side of it, like I don't have the freedoms to be able to do the things that I want to do, right?
Okay.
And I so badly want to. So
I saw you playing football the other day.
Yeah.
In your channel.
Yeah. Dude.
Not very successfully, but
wait, which one?
The one you did with Castro, trying to hit the top post.
So, okay, they were trying. I actually did. Go back. First shot, I hit the crossbar.
You did.
Yeah.
But I actually had a lot of doubts because there was never a wide shot. There was only 2 overs. So I was
Fucking
like,
Roger.
For all we know, it could not be happening.
I told Roger the same thing. And then I told him, when we do the theater, you got to make sure that there's a player playing on a big screen. No shot of that. He's like, it'll be fine. I'm like, all right.
Because I could be like, I can imagine just me throwing the ball. Because again, I make movies, so I know the cheat. Yeah. I'll be like, oh, Hector wins, you know?
Nah.
I was like, oh, you little guys. I was thinking, did you make Roger make you hit the first shot?
Look, my little brothers will never allow me to not to take credit for something I'm not good at. I'm too boastful, right? I'm always bragging. I'm always like talking shit to them. You think they're gonna give me a freebie? Hell no, they wanted me to miss. But guess what? I'm so good.
I'm gonna tell you my story much better in my mind.
All right,
in my mind, you sit them and it's like, okay, guys, I fucking hit the first shot.
Yeah.
If anybody like snitches get stitches, you know.
Yeah. And then something ditches. Yeah. Nah, hell no. No, I got the best thing that I've ever done in this industry is making sure that the people that work for me don't work for me. They work with me, and everybody has an opinion. You know, like we're very direct with each other. Matt, the first thing the first hurdle that Matt and I got over was don't give me any excuses, and he's never since then ever in the last 3 years given me any excuse as to why he didn't do something. He's like, yeah, my bad. I'd rather take a my bad than dude, you know what's crazy? Like last night I was out, I got fucked up, and I hung over. I don't give a fuck. Just say my bad. Don't give me fucking excuses. And for 3 years he hasn't. I'm telling you, my ship is run tight.
You mentioned, because I read a lot of things, you mentioned something that I thought about it a lot. You said that everybody that works for Optic has been handpicked by Hector. I tried to figure out if I could be that person, but I actually decided not to be that person in OG. And for example, there was a person that was hired.
Yeah.
And I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And the person that was hiring that person, I was able to communicate, hey, I got your back. If this ends up being the right person, good. If it's not, it's still my fault.
Yeah.
Because I am allowing this to happen.
Yeah.
But I wanted them to find the people that will work good with them. Because I made the mistake in the past of hiring people that will work good with me. But now that I have specific reports, I need people that will work for them.
Yeah.
Because they don't report to me directly.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. It's like, do you also like to hire people that will work with you well, even though they might not report to you, or just everybody reports to you in a way?
No, everybody reports to Optic, including me.
Okay.
And Optic reports to the fans, period. Okay. That's the way it works. So when I say handpicked, I mean that I got to know them. I got to know them, and they got to know the rules. You know what I mean? Protect the brand. Number one rule, only rule.
Do you have them written down like these?
No, they got it ingrained in their minds.
Okay.
Because I tell them. The consequences you're not going to like. Protect the brand, period. That's it. Live your life, create the content that you want to create, protect the brand.
So what if, for example, I would say, well, I think that I'm protecting the brand, but in my mind, this specific theme should not be that problematic, but then you're like, oh, dude, we have different understandings.
Then we explain, they explain, and we explain, we come to an understanding.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're not gonna be an Optic in cheating. Fuck that. That's not Optic. No, we're gonna lose. You know what I mean? And that's part of the game. We're not gonna win by fucking cheating. I'd rather not win. I'd rather be a loser all my life than to fake a win.
Same thing for us. We actually got into a little bit of trouble a few months ago on Twitter because we considered that another team cheated and we out them. And
were they?
Depends on how do you understand.
Yeah.
It's a very complicated thing because that, you know, it's like legality versus morality.
Yeah.
So legality changes all the time. You know, there was specific substances that were not legal before. Now they're legal. Does the morality change? So for me, I think we know, between competitors, we know what's cheating and we know what's not.
Yeah.
Just because the rules allow one thing, that doesn't make it okay for me.
Yeah.
And we got into a lot of trouble and Twitter drama and yada yada yada.
Yeah. See, me, you get on Twitter drama, you have real life drama with me. You're never gonna catch Optic accounts talking shit about another team. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I don't work for them. I'm not gonna advertise them. Like, people try to, you know, talk shit about Optic all the time, other teams, and it's banter and all that, but like, thanks. You know what I mean? Like, they work for me too. I don't have to pay them. They're advertising Optic nonstop.
And so, for example, what do you think about when Carlos and G2, the whole strategy of just the trash talk?
Yeah, it works for them, right? So
we've never done it, and I've been very against it.
Yeah.
But they're very successful doing it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, again, there's room for everybody and every style. You know what I mean? But you have to own it. You can't passively get in there and talk like semi shit. You know what I mean? It just happened recently where, fuck, I don't know. I guess it was like some executive from Sentinels said something to Carlos that Carlos was gonna go for it, like 0 for 4 on some of the predictions, and then this dude comes back with some savage ass reply, and Carlos won. Why? Well, this dude is not that guy. You know what I mean? Like, this dude should not have, like, he's a figurehead. He comes from like a different business background, may not necessarily understand esports and the way that esports works, and he's competing against an expert in esports, a player that played in esports and now is a figurehead of an esports company. You can't compete and doesn't give a fuck.
When I want to trash talk Carlos, I do it on DMs. I message him directly and I laugh at him because I know that the moment that I make it publicly, he's gonna have a 10 times better response that I could ever think of. I'm in here.
I don't know. I like, again, I like to get along with everyone. The only time that I've ever had like enemies per se was, you know, when I didn't have Optic. Like that was the only time that I have people that I don't like, right? But I respect them. Like, that's just the way things are. But I try to make it a point to be as respectful as possible to everyone, no matter who they are, no matter what they do. Just because I'd rather spend my time having fun and having a good time than having this like pit like in the bottom of my stomach or in my throat where I'm just like, oh man, I don't feel good about the way that I handled that situation. So I just fucking avoid it altogether.
If you had to guess something that your audience or your fans or Optic fans would like to know about my team, what do you think that could be? Or about if they could ask me anything right now. Yeah. Because I have thought about it. I wanted to, you know, like bring a value to your podcast. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what they would want to know about us or about me or.
I think you. Well, one, thank you for coming on the podcast. No, I've had a lot of fun. I'm an hour and 25, and it doesn't feel like it. So thank you for that. Because sometimes, you know, I've never had it, but in some podcasts that I've done in the past, it feels like actual work where this is just a conversation that we're having. But I think the number one thing that I would ask, which is probably the same thing that they would ask, is, like, where's the content? You know, how do you incentivize people that are making that much money to take an hour? Because you can't tell me that all 5 of those dudes. How big is the team staff, including coaches?
Well, I have 5 players.
5 players,
and then I have the coach, analyst, and manager, and then the sports psychologist.
Cool. You're not gonna tell me that all 8 of those people can't donate 2 hours a week to get in front of a camera to talk to their fans. You cannot convince me of that. 2 hours a week is nothing. You know what I mean? Like, we have how many hours a week on average? Yeah, like 5 hours a week on average. In a 40-hour, come on, man. You can sacrifice an hour of sleep You can't sacrifice getting up early an hour. You can't sacrifice like not sitting on the fucking couch watching a movie to talk to your fans.
So I would say it pains me that there is a reality that I do have to face.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to put it on me.
Yeah.
It's never on them.
Yeah.
We have never provided them an environment that either nurtures that or incentivizes that, or simply we take care of it, so they just have to show up.
Yeah.
So we have done it, unfortunately, maybe not successfully enough to where it's not 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's more disruptive to the process. I think one of the things, unfortunately, is that a lot of the Dota season is structured in a way that is not really conducive to some of these things. So I would say we are looking into it.
Yeah.
We want to be able to do those things. I just haven't found a way to do it properly. So it's on me. I hope I can find a way to do it.
Yeah. Good. You should. Because the beautiful thing about the internet and the beautiful thing about the things that we do is that we can reshape the way that traditional sports have always operated, right? Where there's these players that are these, and granted, in that space they are, right? Like LeBron James is LeBron James, Tom Brady is Tom Brady. But in esports, at least in this infancy, I want to be able to say 50 years from now that in the beginning, fans and players were so close together that they knew every single one of their dogs' names, what kind of car they drove, who their girlfriend was, who their parents are. Like, I want to be able to do that, because there will come the day where it will be only strictly about competition, and some of the stuff that we do now will not be a viable thing.
So I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Dota, for all people that might not know, is extremely incentivized financially. At the end, we have a tournament this year that is going to be $40 million.
God damn.
40 million.
40 million buckaroos.
And last year was, in 2018 was 35.
35 million.
And we won it.
And you won
The year
it.
before was 32. And we won it. So,
32 million.
Yes.
You guys took home like 15 and 12, you said.
It was like 50% of each one of them, yeah.
Fuck me.
So I think that this is configured so heavily in one place.
Yeah.
That I believe my players are giving them all they have on the competition, and the rest is for family, girlfriends, significant others that they need to give me the best version of competition. So I actually have a lot of respect how my players say, you know what?
Same.
I have a kid. I need to spend time with them.
Of course.
And so far, I've never made anybody stream. You know how some of the contracts require you to stream X amount of hours? I've never required them to stream. I believe that we need, together to maybe figure out where the balance is of doing the content and all that. But they are so honest with me that I need this time for my wife. I need this time for my girlfriend. I need this time with my dad.
Yeah.
I need this time with my brother and my uncle, that we have protected that niche, and then we have protected the competition niche. And in the middle, we've not found the time yet.
Yeah.
Right now, think about it, TI, 40 million. How do I convince anybody to do content with me? It's very hard.
Yeah. Well, how do they, like, the thing with us is, like, I don't put, you got to stream on my contracts either. Think I'm going to sit here and like, beg you, yo, please make more money on top of what I'm already paying you? No. You want money, the money's there for you to make. If you don't want to take that easy cash off the table, that's on you. If you don't want to create a better relationship with your fans, that's on you, right? But history has shown us that those who nurture those relationships, boom.
100% with you. I am 100% with you.
Yeah. I mean, granted, $40 million is $40 million fucking dollars.
Correct. So in my specific team, if you look at, again, in the highest earners, 7 of them are us, or players that were at OG at one point.
Yeah.
So they have not figured out themselves the balance.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 players that stream, but it's only because they like streaming.
Yeah.
Because it fuels their passion for the game.
Yeah.
They don't talk to the audience.
Yeah.
They don't put cameras. They just allow you to watch them. Enjoy my practice and enjoy my crazy things. Topson, the mid player.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he has never lost a game ever during TI. Because his first professional game was going to TI, and then he won, and then we won the next year, and we won again. So he's never lost one.
Look at that.
And so that guy is an incredible player, an incredible personality.
How much has he won total? Around
6.5, 7?
6.5 to 7 million.
6, maybe 5.5, yeah.
And it's they're in a good country with good taxes.
Awful.
No,
Finland.
Oh shit. It would take like 90%, I think.
I would say it's like around 70%.
Fuck me.
Because we have a joke that he has not won a TI. He has not won 2 TIs yet.
Yeah.
Because the second one was to pay for.
Yeah. Oh my God. Have you guys ever heard of Texas?
In Texas, we have, but like I said, for them it's all about happiness and family.
Yeah, amen.
So for him was important that it didn't matter how much taxes, he wanted to live in Finland. He has 11 brothers.
Oh my God.
That is my mind, who and why he is that special.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
If you take him out,
yeah,
you don't get top PS.
You never,
else.
You never know like what craziness or what genius or what depression does to a player, right? If you take depression away from the best athlete in the world, could he be the best athlete in the world? You don't know the sort of combination chemically that's happening inside of you that allows you to be as good as you are, right? You talk about Dennis Rodman, right? Like if he wasn't able to blow up some steam, with Carmen Electra in Vegas for whatever, could he be the good player that he is? No, he would die inside because he's only doing one of the things that he's required to do and not living life for himself. And I think I think everybody is the same. I know I certainly am the same way, right? Like if I wasn't creating content, I would not be doing what I do. If I didn't care about what I've built, if I didn't care about the legacy that I'm building, if I didn't care about, continuing to be a part of esports, then, like what am I?
I think that you've been able to inspire that into your guys because you had it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've not been able to put anybody in front of them that will inspire that on them.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's our fault. Because they, at the end of the day, like, just like I told you, Matt, like how you guys get to inspire my day as a fan because I get to be with you, you have a massive amount of influence on these young adults that you have you're dealing with. And they will be shaped to be, in many ways, who you are and what you are. If you teach loyalty, you will receive loyalty back. If you're an asshole to everybody, then you will grow mistrust. So I think that this was my first year with them, and I was able to learn from them. And I think that I put a little bit of me. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of me in this team that I like.
Yeah.
But now it was a moment where I needed to let them go. So now this last part of the season, they're going to do it alone without me. We sat down and we said, we like where we are right now. We like what we built. They qualified together when they were in Copenhagen. We're going to bring the same group and we're going to just bubble. No phones, no nothing, bubble until the end of TI. Nothing.
That's crazy.
Just bubble.
Dude, that is the level of competition that all of it will be at in 10 years, easy. 5 years even.
You just have to pour $40 million on top of it.
Dude.
And people will be like, okay, I guess we're not going out tonight,
Yeah, and it's all crowdfunded, yeah?
Yeah. It's a transformative amount of money, I mean, Champs is amazing, but it doesn't change the way that your kids will live.
No.
$40 million does.
100%.
So now you're wondering, okay, I'm 23 and I have ability right now, in the next month and a half, to change my life and my kids forever. Fuck it. Here you go. Take your phone.
We need that, Matt.
So the crowdfunding, to explain this. So Valve, that is the developer of the game, creates a bundle and a game inside the game that is called the Compendium, where you can level up and you get new rewards, like new skins, new words, new voices, and all that. And people get to they get to put money on it to level it up.
Mm-hmm.
Only 25% of that goes to the prize pool. So we have 40 millions. Imagine how much more went into the game.
Well, if I do the math.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's all Valve.
That's Valve.
It's good for Valve, man. Shout out Valve, man. Keep that.
They make the best game for me in the world.
Yeah.
And they make the servers that are perfect. And they make these incredible TI and these incredible events.
Yeah.
And do you have plans from October 12th to October 17th?
Dude, I don't have plans for tomorrow.
Do you want to come to Romania and go and see the international?
I've never been to Romania. I would love to. When is it?
October 12th to October 17th. You could be my +1 with OG.
Hold on. I'm so fucking down. Hold on. October
12th to the 17th.
October 12th. Dude.
Because we're going to have to play the finals on the 17th.
When do we have to? I have Camp Fest. Me and my friends of 25 years donate a weekend a year. Mm-hmm. And it's that weekend.
Including the 17th? Yeah, unfortunately.
So when is it exactly? When?
So the tournament, the main event is from the 12th to the 17th. Sunday the 17th is the finals.
And you guys are...
I hope so. We're going to be there.
Fuck.
I think we're going to run it
I
all
think
over.
we could.
It will be the 3P.
3P?
Because we won the last two.
Dude, I think, listen, I can make it 15, 16. Matt and I can make 15, 16, and 17 work.
Okay. Well, Romania.
How far is Romania?
Far. Very far.
Like how many hours do you think?
Probably 21 hours from here. Because you have to do a few. I have a hotel for you guys. If you want it, I already have a hotel.
Okay. I'm so down. You down, Matt? All right, cool.
TI is something beautiful. I guess it's like for you guys, it's like your favorite day of the year it's magical. It's TI.
Yeah. Dude, I mean I've seen it, right? Obviously Optic had a Dota team,
correct?
But I never got a real chance to work with the team, and I never really got a chance to go experience it live. But I do remember seeing the Optic Gaming flag in the game, and I was just like, "That why the fuck don't we have that in Call of Duty?" And then we do now, so it's pretty cool. I appreciate the invite. I will make it a plan to go.
Please.
So all my Romanian people,
yes,
I'm gonna be there. How's the food?
Fantastic.
Yeah, spicy, not spicy.
So Romania is a mixture of trivia words for you guys. There is a few languages that are derivatives of Latin.
Okay.
So Spanish,
yep,
French, Italian, and Romanian.
Really?
Yes. So they are a mixture between Italians and Russians. So the food is very Italian based with mixtures of Russian. So it's amazing. The people are amazing. The food is amazing.
Where is Romania?
Okay.
So I'm not really good at geometry. I know it's geography. I was making a dad joke. Romania.
Uh-huh.
Boom. It is.
I have so much love for that country.
Holy crap! It's like
place.
on the east side of Europe.
Dude, Dracula is from Romania. You know?
Blah.
Yeah, that's like Dracula and Vlad.
Bucharest.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Is that where it is in Bucharest?
Yes, sir.
Let me see. Driving directions.
I don't think.
It's an 18-hour flight. I'm down.
Do it. I already have the room for you guys.
I'm down. So down. Any closing comments?
Just again, it's an absolute honor to be here with you.
Thank you,
and
brother.
with you guys. Just the thought it would be like I am an Optic fan and I've been an Optic fan. So being here, I'm still trying to play cool while I'm here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like moment when you're gonna close the door. I'm gonna be like
Yeah.
from excitement. I'm pretending that you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
But no, it's dude.
Thank you, man.
Honor.
I appreciate it. I don't like to hear it. Right, it makes me feel weird inside. It's like when we go to dinner, it's like thanks. Like fuck, I invite the Optic. Don't say thank you. I know we thank you. Don't. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. His information is gonna be in the description down below. Huge shout out again to KiwiCo and also DoorDash. Appreciate the sponsorship, and we'll see you guys next week with a different guest, a different podcast. Maddie, say goodbye.
Bye bye.